What is up, down, and sideways, you lovely individuals? Welcome to League Unlock. Eric and Mark hanging out with you guys for a little bit of power ranking action for Week 3 in NA and EU, and things are getting messy. In North America and Europe, the standings and rankings, it is a disaster.
It is a disaster, and boy, there have been some disastrous performances and choices here in North America, which leads to this newest edition of the power rankings, and oh boy, this one wasn't a very pleasant one to go through.
It's probably going to be the biggest movements that you see for the entire spring split in the rankings, starting with 10-6, and luckily we have a little bit of consistency because, again, it is CLG at number 10 because they had victory stolen from them. Well, actually, they threw it away against Immortals. They still sit with just one win at 1-5. But the craziest start to spring and the craziest ranking on this list is Team Liquid plummeting after what was the worst two-game performance and worst week performance that we've seen since Doublelift got on the roster.
In the past 2 years that this has been of Team Liquid, this is easily the worst weekend that we have seen from them. And this is a major cause for concern for me because, again, you've got phenomenal players still on this roster. You know, 4 out of the 5 players here are still your all-stars in North America. You know, some of the best players that we have at each individual position here, and you are still not able to perform or make the right decisions in-game as far as itemization choices and how to go about it. And this is not asking for anything extreme. This is things I would expect from a gold or silver level player to be able to identify these things. And it is crazy. This is one of those things where, hey, I want to give props to Keith McBrief because he absolutely stepped up his performance this week when we asked for it. But still, this is unacceptable levels of performance from Team Liquid and individually from these players. It is not okay what is going on here.
And don't you dare blame this game against the Guardians on Surenfire. Absolutely not on him. Nothing is working with this team. Impact doesn't look good. Doublelift and Core JJ are getting 2v2 killed by Keith and FBI. The item builds, they got 2 Morellos, and the last Whisper Healing reduction against the non-Soraka comp, everything. The macro sense, they're blowing 4 ultimates to kill an 0-2 Zoe. What is going on with Team Liquid? I know spring doesn't mean anything, but you can still play.
Right, this is just an unbelievable regression here as far as the play that we are seeing from these players. And this is one of those things where, again, I don't think that this is the actual truth of what these players can play now and what their actual skill is. Not even close. And that is why we are so upset at the performances that we have seen from them thus far. And it is unacceptable from the Team Liquid brand and what they've established now as what is the level of play that we can expect from them.
All 4 losses on Senna, you got to assume that it's no more coming out there. But Broxa looks to be ready for next week, and he's watching these games saying,
he wants to go back, man.
Actually, the visa, oh no, it got lost in the mail, guys. But don't expect a quick turnaround, and all of a sudden Team Liquid goes right to the top of the standings. It's going to be a slow process to not only fit Broxa in, but fix all the mistakes that Team Liquid has already. But a big shout out to Golden Guardians, who are a spot ahead of them on the rankings, and they looked great in that game. Keith and FBI were fantastic. Golden Glue was not fantastic at all, but Closer and Hanser were great. Everybody but Golden Glue looked great in this game.
Right, and I'm not all that worried for the Golden Guardians, given that, you know what, we have seen weeks here already that Golden Glue has looked better or has been fine in the mid lane type of thing, so that wasn't my concern. We did challenge them this week that we wanted to see more from the bot lane, and specifically needed to see Keith McBrief not int and run it down.
Bench the Kench, bring out the Thresh.
My dude. That is absolutely the move. Much better performances all across the board from Golden Guardians.
Evil Geniuses are a spot ahead FlyQuest. They won that head-to-head, even though they have a worse record. They annihilated them, and FlyQuest, we talked about on last show, FlyQuest, a minus 3,000 gold differential at 15. They got absolutely bodied in week 3, maybe even worse than Team Liquid, which is why they also plummet down 5 spots. They were within the top 2, and now they're down here at 7. Bad week from them as well.
Yeah, not what you wanted to see. And again, I still have faith that this FlyQuest roster can figure things out, that there is still a lot of positives with this team, with the addition of Power of Evil and Ignar coming towards them, making those engages, but not a good week here from the Tree squad.
And the top 5, the movement only continues from here. When you have teams dropping 5 spots, yes, some squads are moving up. 100 Thieves, they got one of the wins or losses against Team Liquid, and then they lost to Immortals, but they still move up a spot. Dignitas went 0-2, but it was a tough week against the 2 top squads, so we're giving them a little bit of leeway, hoping to see some bounce back from them in week 3, in week 4, but it was a drop off this week. And the reason 100 Thieves still climbed for going 1-1 is because apparently Immortals are good. I still don't believe it. This might be the worst 4-2 team of all time, but they climbed so much because the teams in front of them before just didn't look good or didn't even win.
I feel like this is one of those situations where it might become my fault at one point here, but I'm still not exactly buying what's going on here with Immortals and the success that they've been able to have. I certainly see a lot more positives with this lineup and what they're able to execute on here than I ever did at the beginning of the year. But yeah, this is what
the macro gameplay. So as the shot calling god.
I will give them credit here, absolutely. This is a strong start, and they deserve it. These are all pretty much, other than that one there where CLG absolutely just throws that one, I think these are all deserved victories here from the Immortal squad.
The 60-minute TSM game?
And they grinded that one out, my man. They grinded that one out. I am giving Immortals a little bit of credit here, and I'm willing to see what we get here from the rest of them moving forward into this split. But so far, beating expectations.
Absolutely. I just thought they might finish the year with 4 wins. And I will say, Ica still probably looks like the 10th best mid laner in the LCS, even in this win. So the rest of the squad, I would say picking up the slack. Xmithy is still one of the best junglers in NA. Soaz was better than he looked on Misfits, that's for sure. And
hey, just slap him on a Cho'Gath, no problem.
I don't know. I've seen some Worlds games from him on Cho'Gath that was not too fun. The top 2 in North America, you can be somewhat confident in. TSM still has a lot of question marks, but they have that 4-game win streak. I think pretty clearly the second best team in NA, even though they have the same record as Immortals, and they lost that 60-minute head-to-head, still have more confidence in TSM right now than IMT.
Right, and then specifically for me, that's because of the growth that you have seen from this TSM squad. That yes, you started out abysmally with that type of 60-minute loss against Immortals and things like that, that bad first week. Things have gotten much better here for the Bay Life squad, and this has got to make a lot of fans happy. The way that you won these games this week here, the performances that you saw through here, pretty much from the entirety of this roster. Down in the bottom lane, you saw Biofrost making wonderful engages, Bjergsen looking just like the Bjergsen of old in that mid lane, rocking that big old
Syndra.
Rocking that big old Ornn and Syndra. Those two are the exact same champions in appearance.
Same play style, yeah.
And then, of course, Dardoch and BB getting things going here in that top jungle side. Things are coming together nicely for TSM.
And, I mean, number one is obvious. It's Cloud9. They haven't lost. They've been smashing everybody. Sven may have died, but we can still monitor if they give up a Baron to anybody. Not just a loss. Can anyone steal a Baron off this team? Because they are annihilating North America through 3 weeks.